A woman by the name of Allie Carter, who's been speaking out against Diddy for a while now, speaks out and she gives some very scathing details about these parties that she was subjected to, allegedly, and about some tunnels. What's up with this?
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up, y'all? Allie Carter has been someone who has been speaking out about Diddy for the longest time. She has been saying some things for a few years now. She has blown the lid off of a lot of the things that have been alleged about Diddy that now we're seeing more and more truths about, even more now. But just a little while ago, she put out a video, and yes, I am late to the party, but I felt obligated. I felt compelled to take a look at this video because there's a lot that's being said in this video that is just very shocking, to say the least. She drops some names in this video as well, and then she talks about tunnels, y'all, and also the breakdown of certain things, what she was subjected to, including other people as well. This is some crazy stuff. And again, this is also somebody who has been saying something about CPS, Child Protective Services, getting involved in moving her and other people around as well. It's absolutely crazy. But in this video, she speaks out. And of course, this is only a snippet of the whole thing because it's a very, very big video. But in the video, she's in there in the car with her mama, apparently. It is pretty wild stuff, heartbreaking stuff. But let's take a look at this video, shall we?
Diddy parties. Those are assault parties, and I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops and then the DJ starts flashing all these lights and they close the doors, and then everybody turns into like a frenzy and starts going into a crazed animal-like demonic state, and you have no idea what's going on. And yes, there was a time where I was just like completely don't give a shit because it happened, and I was the type of kid that thought that you're in the presence of royalty and they make it seem like you're in the presence of Hollywood, so you should be honored and you should be appreciating that you're there. And I was that person. I totally acted like that. I was like, oh, it's fine, it really doesn't matter. But then it really did matter when my was like, he had rules. He had lots of rules, and it was more money. And if you know the difference between a pimp, a John, and a trafficker, the trafficker is the supplier, but the pimp is collecting the money and the John is doing the buying. So if the pimp is saying that Full House, actual full blown if there's rules to Full House, and there's rules to and there's rules to all kind of different jobs. Okay. So at a certain point, I was not brought or traded for, but that didn't matter to a few celebrities that were there. It's not just celebrities. There's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16. 15, 16. It's foggy. A lot happened that night, and I went really numb. And if there's videos or if there's anything that could go from that, then pull them. Because we all know that there's so many cameras around. So I can try to post the affidavits and I can put out what happened, but at the same time, what am I supposed to do when nobody's really asking about the kids that are present in these parties now and were then, because they're really just going after all the celebrities and the adults, which I'm happy that we're finally here. And I'm grateful that we're finally pulling the names that need to be pulled and the big fishes that need to be pulled. But at the same time, nobody's asking about the kids and who else is really there. And no, it's just not about all these dudes having, they need people to fluff them, which are jobs. And those are the kids and the people on the party favors desk. And then on top of that, there's this big ass wheel, and they make it like a carnival thing, and they literally strap you to a wheel and spin it. And then after a certain time, there's animals. And then after a certain time, you have no idea what's happening because you're numb.
Wow. Okay. Let's be real. There's a lot being said in here. We're only halfway through this video here. I'm gonna play a lot of the rest of it here in a second, but it is interesting that she's saying that they were basically used as party favors. Then she talks about animals. Again, there's animals. We just saw earlier today on the main channel, Adria English talking about fish. I know that sounds really wild and outlandish, but I mean, now we're hearing, and this is a video that's been out for a while now. Again, this whole Allie Carter video has been out for a while. She has more videos that we are going to be reacting to and checking out as well as a family too, but even recent ones as well. But this is insane to think that that they're part of these ritualistic, almost demonic type of rituals that also involve not only just littles but also animals as well, being put on a spinning wheel, and all that. It's just crazy. It's just crazy what she's saying here. And if any of this is true, I this is mind blowing, guys.
And if you throw up like I did,
Oh,
then your
dear
face
Lord.
is going to be rubbed in and you're going to have to eat it. And then people look at that as a sick tube, blood is a throat is a fish, shit is a fish. So
Have mercy.
I have DID and I went numb after a while. There's a reason for all of my splits, but I just went numb after a minute. And there's times where I just checked out. You can check out for a few hours while somebody is messing with you. It exists because if you start fighting them back, then you're gonna suffocate or it's gonna hurt worse. So well, for me personally, I checked out. That's how I'm still sitting here.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah.
So much trauma that she has DID, that she just checked out. I mean, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Heartbreaking. Wow.
And that's not the only thing, because after so many hours of dealing with people assaulting you, after so many hours of that, then if you're still okay, then they just make you go to another job like I did. So then you're just transported through the tunnels.
What tunnels, man? What tunnels? And here's the thing, though. With all due respect, this is not the first time we've heard about tunnels. But apparently, they're saying that and this is alleged. This is all rumor because we have not heard any proof or any facts of there being tunnels under Diddy's mansion, of any mansions. But she's now even talking about these tunnels, y'all. Tunnels. Moved around in tunnels.
And there are videos, and I'm sure there's so much of this, and everybody is seeing slowly it come out, but nobody's talking about the kids. I don't want to open my phone and realize that somebody posted a video of me as a child, and there was times where, because I was on so much ecstasy and so much drugs, that I was laughing because I wanted people to think that I was okay, so they didn't kill me.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So there are things that would come out that people would assume, like, oh, everything is fine, they're fine. No, I was 15, 16. I was a kid, and there were kids younger than me, and there's still kids younger than me, and CPS supplies a lot of these children. Let's just not be around the bush about this. CPS supplies a lot of these kids.
So now she's saying something about CPS getting involved with moving these kids around. And again, wow.
Because they don't look for them. They don't care. You're runaways. You're AWOLs. No one gives a shit. So I'm happy we're on this subject, and I hope that we continue, because I'm still trying. I'm still here. I still give a shit, even though I kind of checked out for a little bit and it looked like I did it. And yeah, as a dance choreographer that was being fake and acting like, and it doesn't bother me. It does. It always does. I can't sleep. So.
What's really terrifying about this is that, of course, what she's saying here is terrible, heartbreaking, and mind blowing to even think that this is an actual thing. I am still very, very shook about hearing any of this, and of course, I got questions because again, this is a person stepping forward and saying these things, and what she's saying could very well be real. Um, I don't know if this woman is actually telling the truth or if she's lying. I leave that up to you guys. But at the same time, she did pull up, she did pull up an affidavit, which is showing some of the things that she says in here. She puts in Denzel Washington. She puts in Birdman, Diddy, okay, Young Jock. And it says here, let's see, let's check this out. And this is some of her affidavit of truth. It says the Playboy Mansion after party held in Simi Valley on or around 2009 to 2010 while I was in foster care. So Allison Leilani Carter, previously known as such and such, attest under oath the following account of my and all my altered parts, personal experiences to be true and accurate to the best of our knowledge regarding the Playboy Mansion after party attended by Birdman. And I'm assuming some other names here as well. There's another one here too. Let's take a look at this. After this party, there were body cakes, which means that and I'm going to use code words, that these individuals that were littles would lie on a table and people would put food on them. Now, remember, if you watched the show that we had yesterday on my main, or today on my main channel, even yesterday or on Friday or 2 days ago as well, we talked about this, which is very, very interesting because Adria English even was talking about this whole body cakes thing, that people were eating food off of these bodies and all that stuff, right? So again, these littles would lie on a table, people would put food on them, and then party goers would eat off of the bodies. There were a lot of celebrities at the party. And again, to some defense, not everybody's going to know. Even Adria English said this too. Not everybody's going to know that these people who are laying on the table are not of age. I mean, let's keep it real. Once everyone was searched and inside, the DJ sounded the music and the lights flashed, signaling that everyone was in. And the doors were closed. This signaled that the group carnal meeting could begin. The kids that had been brought or had been bought at the party were bought to be party favors. Let's continue on. There's more. Favors mean that the kids were literally on set on a table and had to wait for people to come choose them for the act. Once they were done doing their thing, the kids, the littles, code word city, were placed back on the party favored table, quote unquote. And someone else could then come and pick them out from the table and repeat the process. I had to have relations with so many people that night, I cannot remember them all. And some of the other alters hold those memories. So somebody else saw the stuff that was going down as well. Party goers went into a frenzy / type of mindset once the DJ started the music and turned on the flashing lights. There were certain appetites happening everywhere, and they kind of separated them into areas where specific appetites, for lack of a better term, were happening. For instance, the appetite of getting it on in red, in code word, was in one area, while having relations with animals wasn't in another area. People were just in a crazed sexual frenzy. When the music started, I was sitting on the party favor table. The main room was big, like a ballroom. There were outlying doors around the edges of the room. Some of the doors were shut, but you could still see the food S table and the party favor table and many other things. There were different types of S parties happening in different areas of the house. So it was just a freak, like straight up a freak off everywhere. Says I had to sit on the party favor table and wait to be chosen. The way someone would choose a gift bag off the table at a birthday party. Two guys would took me off the table and they brought me, and I don't know if there's more to this part, but that's very interesting. Now they say, I guess this is someone that she's describing. He also wore a gold chain. He was complaining that he did an hour set. And it looks like somebody who was a part of the Kings of Comedy. What? So, okay, he wore a gold chain. He was complaining that he had to do an hour set, but there was, quote unquote, no one to F backstage. This comedian broke the no AS rule and had this way with me anyway and just laughed. I screamed for my handler / pimp. Everyone was laughing, and I ended up getting in trouble. I was then told to do something on a table, do this S stuff on the table with a girl who was of her age. Then they brought in donkeys and burros, and we had relations with them. What? There were several girls that had to have relations with these animals while everyone watched. Another girl and I ended up and we already know about them purging themselves, and I'm sure they were purging themselves because God knows how much they had in their system. It could have been substance related, or it could have been out of just straight disgust of doing or being made to do something that they didn't want to do. Listen, guys, this is absolutely crazy. Obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg of the video and what she tells us. And of course, there's probably a lot more that is out here. Of course, this is absolutely very censored. Just a fair warning because of what's being told here. But it just blows my mind that if this is true, then absolutely every single person that was involved should definitely be locked up. And that's the one question I still have. Why aren't any of these other people actually locked up? Why aren't any of these people seeing justice, and rightfully so? It is pretty wild to me that you have a person like her, who was a little at the time, being put out there on display like a party favor and then be used at these particular alleged monsters' disposal. It's disgusting. And I can't believe that this is even real. And this is one of the reasons why I was very reluctant to get onto this video, because of how intense this stuff is, what she talks about. But nonetheless, we need to hear it, because if this is true, we need to bring justice as soon as possible. Hit that like button down below. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Definitely don't forget to do that. Of course, again, hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. It's time to get going. I have no other commentary to say on this one. This one's absolutely insane, to be honest. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Let's talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.